are live. ALTBAYS show brought to you by ALTBAYS.nz. It's good to have musicians in the house because the music never stops. We're live. If you're watching us right now, you're on YouTube, and if you are on YouTube, you should subscribe to our channel. We're live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Camila's like, come on, man, carry on. The music was sounding good. Come on. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. You can also join our platform now. So there's an option just below where the player is, where you can click and become a supporter of this show, so you can throw some dollars there to the team every month, and we appreciate that. Or you can do a one-off donation. There's a live chat on the left side. If you are logged in on YouTube, you can also do that, and we will be very happy. Thank you very much. If you are more of a listener, just remember that we're also obviously a podcast, so you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Amazon Music, and all the main audio platforms. Okay, right. If the show is too long for you and you're a busy person, we got you sorted. We have the second channel that is called ALTBAYS Clips, where we break down the conversation, so you can watch some short clips and then you pick the ones that you like the most, and then maybe you go for the full one. How beautiful. If your attention span is even shorter, you can follow us on TikTok, and then we post little clips, like 1 minute max, and that is also a nice way to catch up with us and see what we've been up to. Most people know, not everyone knows, but I am from Brazil, and I've been living in New Zealand for 9 years now. And Taylor and I, we've been doing this show for probably 7 months now, and we had amazing people coming to our studio here in the beautiful Fitianga in Coromandel. But tonight is very special because there's more Brazilians in the house, which is pretty cool. Yeah. But before we talk to the Brazilians, I would like to introduce our lovely co-host. Hi, Tanya.
Hello. In fact, I've still got the music going. Tudun, 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 tudun.
I know.
It's a good little song, isn't it?
It is. I want to dance.
Oh, we can do that for sure. Yeah. How have you been?
I've been really good, actually. In fact, it feels really weird coming here tonight and not bringing you guys dinner.
It's fine.
It's kind of strange.
We'll do that. We'll get it sorted. It's not a problem.
But I'm great. Thanks. It's really nice to be here.
How is Lot of Love going?
Lot of Love's really good. You know, you can get my ice cream in the cinemas now, which is really great. Mm-hmm. And I just got audited the other day, and that was kind of, not scary, but that was great because now they've pushed it out to 18 months. So everything's all above board. Great. No paperwork to do.
Congratulations.
So I'm happy.
Looking forward to summer?
I sure am, because I'm going to be at the market every Saturday.
Cool.
Out with lots of goodies. And jamu from Bali. Fresh made jamu. Jamu, yeah.
We might as well bring Camila to the conversation so we can both ask the same questions, because I'm like, jamu. So tonight we have the pleasure to chat with Camila. Am I saying it right? Lenhardt?
Lenhardt, yeah.
Lenhardt. Yeah. How are you, Camila?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me today.
Thank you, obrigado. So, do you know what jamu is?
Sounds like a fancy jam.
It's so good that there's ooh after. It's a jamu.
A jamu. Like from Africa or something.
It's,
jamu.
When I went to Bali, we learnt to make it, and jamu is the Balinese word for medicine, I was told. So it's like a health elixir shot made with pandan leaves and star anise and lemongrass and ginger and turmeric and all those things. So you have a big process to make all this and then blend it into different health shots, and it's just like, a little one down the hatch, and it's just like,
so it's like a liquid,
good.
like
a little
drop.
health shot drink, a little shot glass full. Yeah, it's really good. So I'm going to have some at the market this Saturday.
Nice.
A health shot.
I want to try this.
Immune boosting health shot drink. Or so they tell me, but you can taste it afterwards, and it's just like, feels really good.
Yeah, sounds very tasty.
Well, it is. Speaking of healing, right? Because in health, Camila, you got a list of things that you do, right?
Yes.
So a multi-instrumentalist, a singer, a songwriter. You teach music. You do some holistic work as well as a therapist. Yes.
Yes.
The list goes on.
Yes, I do Reiki, sound healing, multidimensional healing, and I use a lot of medicine from our tribes in Brazil, Rapé, Sananga, the tobacco, and the list goes on. Yeah, lots of different modalities.
How was the thing for you to adapt, like to realize that, like, do you find these herbs and these medicines in New Zealand, or you find a way that people bring from Brazil? How does it work?
Yeah, there is a couple people I know in New Zealand that bring from Brazil and from South America, Mexico. So I reach them and then they bring it. But next time I go to Brazil, I want to meet again the Kadiri tribes and the other tribes and go there in person and bring it myself.
Fill up a shipping container, eh, Tanya?
Yeah.
I reckon. Is that really hard? Like, do you have to, like, you make it like a Chinese medicine type thing? You blend it into a herb or spice? Or
Yeah, the Rapé is well, the main plant is tobacco.
Okay.
And then is a mix of ashes of different trees, barks. Could have cinnamon, anise. So it really depends what the shaman made it for.
So
but basically it's for you to ground if you're being, say, depressed or you have too many thoughts and your busy life, and then that brings you back to your center. It's used a lot in ayahuasca ceremonies.
I was going to ask you that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have to be trained, obviously, to deal with all of that?
To do it, not officially.
No?
No, but I would say to try any medicine, you should go with the right people that have been doing that for a while. Yes.
And it's something that we've been listening to quite often, like people experimenting without knowing or without going to places where because I always see a little bit of a conflict there, because those are natural approaches, which usually they have been done for so long. Still, you want to make sure that those people know what they're doing, right? And then it becomes more of a Western thing to try to tap into this alternative. And I heard people saying like that they should not, it's something that is very specific for some communities because of the plants or the cacti that they use, and then they start to run out of it. But I guess most of the places in Brazil, they would have an abundance of, How was the approach for you? Because you actually got to meet some of those tribes, right? You got to spend time?
Yeah, with Kadiri tribe is the one that I've met in person and did a whole ayahuasca ceremony. That was the first time I tried the Rapé, which is the sniff that you go in.
So how do you take Rapé? I think the one that is it the one that you sniff? Like someone blows it and then it goes straight to your nostril? Is that the one?
Yeah. So it's a powder. Which I had here to show you, but it looks like a brown powder. Some of them are change colors. Could be green or different colors. But yeah, it's a powder, and then someone serve you both nostrils. But you can have yourself. So there is a kuripi and a tipi, different for.
So you've gone through that experience.
Yes.
And I've heard, I don't know if it's the same one, but is that when you can get quite sick?
You can get sick, yeah.
And then like the hallucinations or the...
No, with the Rapé. The Rapé doesn't have any...
There's the ayahuasca that you're talking about?
The ayahuasca, yes.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
But with the tribes are very, they use this medicine for a certain purpose. It's not for, social...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I was saying before. It becomes a bit of a trend that people want to experiment because that's what humans do now, right? You see someone doing it and you can't stop yourself because most people have money and they think that money can buy anything. And they just don't want, they just want that experience without understanding that it's part of a people, it's part of a tribe, it's part of a certain region. That
it's their rituals, isn't it?
Their
medicine and their...
For me, it's mainly for spiritual purpose, self-growth and expanding. And I had people approaching to use, and I felt the intention that was just to get high and have fun, and I'm like, nah,
No.
That's not what it is.
this is not for me. At least
Yeah.
I don't introduce anyone to any those medicines like that. But I'm not saying it's wrong. You know, if everyone has their own journeys, and maybe along the path they will see what it is and learn with their choices.
Did you know about ayahuasca before you tapped into it? Like, did you have an idea of the power of it?
When I did with the tribes, before that I was going to a Santo Daime church.
So the Santo Daime, for the people who don't know, in Brazil, it's can you explain to us? I think you'll be more justice than me.
It's a religion in Brazil. They use the ayahuasca, the medicine, as well for the similar purpose, to expand, to connect with the ancestors. Every ceremony with the tribes or with the Santo Daime has a different purpose as well. But they use a lot of the Bible readings and singing. It's totally different from the tribes.
Yeah.
But I do connect more with the tribes' way of all the rituals and everything is just more connected with the forest, with the nature. And
Is it because it's more authentic? And like if you have it in that sort of setting to...
No, the Santo Daime
No.
is you have to be very disciplined to be in that church, and they teach you a lot. I learned a lot, but I think for me, every religion, I've been to different.
Yeah.
Through my life, I've been through stepping to different kind of religions and experimenting. But for me, I always go back to the tribal background, and I feel more connected to that. Because they respect nature, they are connected to every living thing, and that I feel that in my body as well. And in religion, for me, everything I try, Catholic, Spiritism, and Buddhism, and Santo Daime, they helped me in the moment that I was looking for something. And then until a certain point in reaching, I couldn't understand certain things. Every time I went back to the tribes, it was just so natural and just so pure. And
You know what feels right.
it felt right. Yeah. And but I reckon everyone just needs to step into your own intuition, what your body's looking for, and not thinking too much what's right, what's this, or judging. Yeah.
So you were saying that you tapped into the Santo Daime first, and then
And then
the
I went
ayahuasca
to
thing came to you.
Yeah.
Was it a bit scary?
Yes, because I thought doing with the tribes was going to be a lot more intense and full on. And was actually, I think maybe because I felt home in the forest, that just, it wasn't too crazy for me, that my journey was just like, wow, I feel home. I feel like this is my people. And the messages come, the visions come. And, you know, you behind every ritual and ceremony, you need to have a pure intention. And then sometimes people go there without any intentions or not very clear. You might find there, but when you do have that quite clear before we step into, then I feel like the journey is a bit more smooth. So the Santo Daime definitely helped me finding that path. But for me, it was a lot of rules and things that was not fitting to my personality, to myself at the moment.
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it, Tanya? And it kind of reminds me when we had a chat that you mentioned the thing with going to Bali for one reason and getting there and all the doors opening for you.
Oh, that's exactly what came to mind when I was listening to you talking about, you know, with the tribesmen. When I went to Bali and connected with these people that I didn't know as such, went to see them, and we were sitting in this restaurant out in the middle of nowhere, you know, this open restaurant. And I felt like a sense of come home. Like I was looking for something for a long time, and it's like, oh my God, I've come home. And I just wondered if that's what you felt.
Yeah,
that same
with the
connection. Like, I don't know you, but I'm home. Yeah.
And I think coming from a people, you know, they live in the forest, they hunt, that's their home. So they have a lot of respect. And you know, any other living being that will arrive there, they will treat with that respect. It's a trust. Now, when you go into society, sometimes people forget that it's supposed to be a natural thing in respecting and giving and receiving. So with the tribes, that I think that's why I felt comfortable with them.
The spiritual connection.
Yeah, there was no bad intentions.
Well, I'm gonna take a little turn, but actually not, because it connects when we talk about tribes and religions and spirituality. Like, every time that I think about groups of people getting together to do something that is going to take them to a higher ground, or to make them feel better, there's music involved, there's singing, there's a beat, there's something. So would you say that there's a strong connection there between the music that you do, because that's your gift, that's your job, that's your passion, but also connected to a healing path?
Definitely. Yes, definitely. Music for a long time, because I started playing violin when I was 2 years old. So
How? What?
Yeah, so
2?
yeah, before I got given a doll, my dad decided to give me a violin.
That's incredible.
Yeah, well, my dad is a violinist.
Oh, wow.
So music was always super present in my life, that I didn't even think that was something that I wouldn't do, you know. But later on, when I started doing the healings and learning Reiki, shamanic Reiki, and spiritism, and Fraternidade Branca, with the Ascended Masters.
Okay.
So when I started stepping into more spiritual part of me, then I started understanding the music, and it was a different tool, you see. And writing my own songs, and even if it's no lyrics, because everything has a frequency. So sometimes only the flutes or singing bowls, we talked about singing bowls before, everything will reach people, or everything around you, animals, and that will turn into a common frequency where everybody is tuning in together and hopefully raise the vibration. Yeah. So I do connect a lot, and I understand more now as I get older.
Oh, see, now you're talking about getting older. She was giving me shit, Tanya, because I was talking about, now that I'm aging, and here we go.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I'm the grandma here, so you guys are young.
We all have young souls. That's the main thing, right?
But I think that's the beauty of life is, a lot of things we do from our hearts, and I think we all should carry on doing that instead of stepping to worrying, I should do this because of this and this. But is that really what you want to do? And you might not understand at that time why you're doing certain things, but that's moving your spirit, it's moving your body into a certain direction, and that direction will be the right one for you if it's making you feel alive, And later, you might understand why. Why did I do Reiki? Why did I do music or these, or even business? I studied business when I arrived in New Zealand. So that's actually helped me with my business now, with my music, with being more disciplined and things like that. So you understand that at some point, but don't worry too much about why and this and that. Nah. Too busy. There's more here. And that's why the heart part is really good, because it kind of... helps you bring it down and quiet your mind, and then you can just be present.
Right, I was going to say, right in that present moment, you just be with
present. Yeah. And working with kids, you have to be present.
You sure do.
So this is another thing that is a big part of your life, teaching, being around children, playing music with them.
Yeah, well, I have a daughter. She's 9 years old. And I do teach kids singing instruments, and I had kids in the past that had Down syndrome, so with different levels of teaching, And especially those kids, for me, was a big learning of being present. Rather than going to, you need to learn this by the end of this lesson, you need to get this. And it's more the experience and what they're going to take it after. And so... I feel very honored to be able to help the kids to feel good. Sometimes they come from school and they're upset. with something that happened at school, I don't know. And then you talk to them and then you play and they start coming to life again, you know. So music, for me, when I was little, helped me every time I had a fight with my parents or something at school. I used to go to the room and play violin for hours. And then that started going like, And I think for different people might be art or might be going for a run or, I don't know, it could be many different ways that you can find that release. And for me, definitely music.
So you're doing that work in Tauranga at the moment?
Yes.
Yes. Totara?
Totari Street.
Totari Street.
Mauau Arts Performance Center at Totari.
So the Totari Street actually it has a few things happening there, right? It's a school, it's a venue as well.
Yeah, it's a venue for international bands, local bands. And in front they have that music school, which I've been part, I think, for maybe 3 years, 4 years. That's weird because of the COVID, we kind of stopped in time. But yeah, I think it's around that 3-4 years. Yeah.
So when was the last time you went to Brazil? Good question.
It was about 5 years ago. 4 years ago, yeah. And I do want to go for not this summer coming, the next one.
Next summer.
But I'm open. I'm not saying that that's going to happen or this is going to happen, but I do want to see my family, take my daughter and catch up and take my music there too. Because when I left home, I was 18 years old.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't play solo. I didn't play in bands. All I was doing was classical music and orchestra, so it was a whole different CAMILA. And my friends, actually, I was talking to one of the staff at the Hula Cafe yesterday, a young girl. She's learning guitar, yeah. And I said to her, because she was like, I'm not afraid in playing in front of people, but when my friends ask me to play, I don't like playing it. And I was the same when I was young. My friends would go like, can you play violin? And I was like, no. And now they see me performing, they're like, now you're performing for all these people, and we grew up asking you, you know.
Why was that?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, because now I think classical music is very, very, very intense. And my friends at the time at school, they used to listen to, I don't know, different type of music, you know. So I was like, I will play this, but I don't know. I think at the back of my mind, it was like, I don't know if you're going to understand what I'm doing, you know. Because I don't know. Yeah. But if it was people that would play in an orchestra, we would play for each other, you know, so because we're in a group. But from school, I was like, nah. And then sometimes I had to, at the end of the year, you know, the school would ask, can you play? And I was like, okay. But very nervous, you know. Yeah. But I did, yeah. I think it's good to go beyond the fear. Even today, sometimes when people ask me to play in certain events, I'll be like, oh, you know. With Bobby Brazuca once asked me to sing the national anthem for Brazil. That was a long time ago. And I was like, oh my, what? This is like important, you know, like, man. And it's just one song, but it was a lot of people there, the Brazilian Day.
Oh, cool.
So I don't know how many people go in there, 5,000-10,000 people. And, but I was so lucky because this little Brazilian kids came and they sang with me and they was like, thank you so much. I'm not alone here. And they were so cute singing. I was like, wow.
And the anthem is not easy, eh? The words for the Brazilian anthem are so complex.
No. And I've been, you know, nearly 14 years in New Zealand. And now I'm actually learning the Kiwi national anthem. So I'm like, and I teach that to my kids at the kids choir. And it's like, wow, your memory has to be, you know, on that. But I'm so present in everything I do. So since I've been in New Zealand, I've been learning about the culture, the language, I haven't forgot my roots. Yeah. But yeah, it was quite a big ask for me. I was like, wow, okay, I can do that.
Was it a thing at school, Tanya, to learn like the anthem to
I think like when I was teaching kindergarten, especially up in Auckland, I looked after 4 to 5 year olds. So I would most mornings we'd sing the New Zealand anthem.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to do it, but I just thought they need to know what this is besides when they hear a rugby game,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then we'd do the Māori version, but I'd always get a bit lost in that middle part of it and, you know, we'd sort of die out a bit and then bring it up at the end.
Yeah.
But I actually think, because I have a sister and a brother in America and their children were brought up right from a young age with the American, you know, anthem and flag and how proud to be an American. And I thought, you know what, we're not proud enough of who we are. So for my little kids in kindy, I thought, you know what, we're going to learn the anthem and be proud of who we are. And plus when they get to school, they have that in assembly, so they already know, you know, what it's about. And they can stand there and sing it, you know, proud and tall. So, yeah, I like to do that with my kids. I thought it was just, you know, quite patriotic and, yeah, why not?
It's quite it's strong. When I sang that, it was a strong feeling coming. And I remember growing up at school, we would here and then have that in the mornings with the flags going up, you know.
And I don't think we do that enough with a lot of things. You know, I don't remember as a child singing it at school. I mean, we may have done, but I don't remember. So I just thought, no, my kids are going to grow up and learn that. And, you know, even if I only teach them for so long, hey, they can sing it. That feels so good.
Yeah.
You know? And it made me stand up straight too.
Yes.
You mentioned, you know, having the kids singing together and having that feeling of like, oh, cool, here I am, you know, in a way representing the country or in that moment, you know, you're bringing a lot of passion to the table. And I was thinking, when we travel, when we go to other countries and it's for a short period of time, we try to embrace the culture the more that we can, you know, like you on a short holiday and then like you wanna eat the local foods, you wanna go to the local places, and that's one style, you know. But then when you move to a country, that's a little bit different, because a lot of people cannot let go of what they always learned, and they miss a big opportunity to embrace a new culture. And some people actually give up on their journey. I'm just saying because I've seen it. I've been here for 9 years and I've seen this happening a few times of people coming from their countries and just hanging with people from their own countries and not blending, and then people move, because that's what happens when you are starting a new life, and then you feel like, oh, I'm a bit lost. Did you feel that at the beginning when coming to New Zealand? Is it something that is you feel comfortable with, like embracing the culture and still holding to your roots? Like how was that thing for you?
No, I wanted to learn te reo a lot. So my first ever family here in New Zealand, the Māori family, and I was actually learning more te reo at the time. In 2009, that was with Tommy Gia. I don't know if he's online, but he's my brother. He looked after me and his family very, very well. And so for a long time, I was learning a lot of te reo, a lot more than English, which is quite funny. And then I had to move maybe 8 months or 9 months. I moved to a different house. I can't remember why. And then back to English. But I always had this try for learning since I was a kid. Always blending in, living with local people. But I guess it's two ways, you know, like I feel like also in New Zealand there is a lot of locals that like living with their community. And because you kind of, I think that might be coming from a protection, you know, this is my country, and, you know, you're coming from, these foreigners come here and do this and that. I heard this a lot, you know, so there is the two ways, and then the foreigners go like, oh, you don't like me, and then it's this little fight, you know. But it's not everyone is a monster, you know, so people should just chill and just come on, listen to each other, and you might learn and grow. And it comes with respect, communication, and
Because you learn a lot, Tanya, by embracing things. And
and I think, like for me, when I travel, I like a lot of Southeast Asia and things like that. And I think that's where you grow as a person, by getting involved in the culture as much as you can, and the food, and, you know, learning about. And that's what you bring home and think, well, yeah, to just broaden your own horizons. Like I know people here that are oh, well, we wouldn't live in that part of Auckland because, you know, all the Asians live there, blah, 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 and they're only interested in themselves and they don't. But that's crap, you know. I mean, there might be little groups of it, like, you know, Europeans here in New Zealand that don't want to branch out and learn about other things, but you need that to grow and learn. And, you know, I mean, without other cultures, we wouldn't have all the things that we've got here, the food and the languages and the arts. And
New Zealand is amazing because you have people from everywhere. This is like Italians, French, Brazilians, Chileans, you know, people from Aussie, Europe. It's a big mix, and it takes a lot for. I understand, you know, like to embrace people coming to your country, and I see people being disrespectful. I understand that, like, come on, but at the same time, you need to juggle away.
Yeah, I think it's give and take, and I mean, not to mention, you know, the sexy accents. But I think you need, you know. Oh, sorry. I think you need good and bad, you know, in all ways and all diversities, and it just makes a melting pot and an interesting place for people. And I think it would be rather boring if we were all the same, and you know. And
accept it. People have different opinions.
Yeah,
different ways of seeing things, and it's not all about fighting about that.
No.
And the thing with staying with a group, like you mentioned, but that neighborhoods, you know, like they have their groups and they don't gel, and you're like, well, but you got to remember that it's quite challenging to go to a new place, you know, like even when you know the language, put yourself out there to communicate and work on that, letting go of your things to embrace new things. There are so many challenges there. So when you find a group, you have that feeling of safety, you know, and it is great to let that go, but it's a process. It takes time, you know. So that's why I see the balance. You got to work on it, but at the same time, it's good to have friends and people from your own. From your country,
definitely. And I feel like for a long time I was so into learning what was in this country for me because I wanted to be here for a long time. That I kind of, let those Brazilian roots a little bit to the side. And then I went back to it. I was like, wow, okay. But I think as a learning process, that's what we do. We go, learn. Okay, let's go back and few steps back and let's integrate what you've learned with what you have already. And
You said you had a 9-year-old daughter. Was she born in Brazil or born?
She was born in New Zealand.
I was going to say, because how does she mix both cultures? Is she?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because when the kids are born at least with my daughter Ella, she for a long time was always a fight at home for me speaking Portuguese and wanting her to speak back in Portuguese. And I feel the same, might be the same here with the Maori culture, with the te reo as well, like, because you don't see everyone speaking te reo all the time as fluent as I expect when I got here, you know. So the same thing with the Portuguese. So for her, when she was, until a couple of years ago, she would reply in English. Or didn't want to speak, you know, like at school, they don't speak Portuguese. Why do I have to, you know? Or just tired, you know, because your brain will search for what they know first. So her first language is English. Yeah. Even though I'm Brazilian and her father is Brazilian, her first language is English. So if they're tired, they will look for the English, the fast, you know, and then they don't want to speak. But now she understands, like we're taking her to Brazil a few times, and now she knows she is part of her blood. Yeah. Part of her is in Brazil. And then when she sees my family and our family, she understands.
And probably when she's even a lot older, she'll embrace that even more.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, thank God, you know, mum and dad taught me, you know.
And there's a different language. It just opens so many opportunities for them.
Sure does.
To travel, to work, to anything, you know, anything. I think it's really good to learn a different language. Doesn't matter what language.
Does she play music?
She plays music, yeah.
Oh, wicked.
I did what my dad did.
Gave her a violin.
I gave her a violin, the tiniest violin. But with her, in a different way, I try not to push so much at home. So she always had different teachers. She had her first instrument with a teacher was drums when she was 4. And then she did drums until maybe last year. And then she decided to just do drums and piano. And then with me at home, everything I had, if I was playing guitar or violin or harp, if she shows an interest that I would let her experience and would say something. You have to really play with your own child. With my daughter, if she's a Leo, so if I say, do it this way, she won't do it. You know, she wants to do her way. Maybe most of kids are like that, I'm not sure. So if I go like, this way is like this, da-da-da. So she would learn watching me more than me saying, do it like this or do it like that. And she's like that, surfing as well, sports, any other type of learning, not just music. So yeah, she loves music.
Does she sing as well?
She sings, and she's really good freestyle. She's really good. Yeah. She comes to me sometimes in the gigs, and I go, I'll just create whatever chord progression, and she goes like, da, da, da. I don't know where she gets the lyrics from, but she's pretty good.
Maybe in vitro.
Yeah.
You know, like she just picked it up before she even came into this world. She's like, I'm on to it, Mum.
Oh, we always jammed. Always. I have videos of her like 3-4 years old, and you know, when her language was a little bit broken, you know. And so it was always very natural. When she started school, she was a bit more shy sometimes. If I was in a gig playing, she would be like, But now she's going back to be more natural and not worrying so much if someone is saying something.
We were talking before about music and set lists and choices and what kind of music do you play. So you can play Brazilian music, which is very appealing to a lot of people. You go to a different country and you play, people love Brazilian music. But you also write your own songs. So do you write in Portuguese? Do you write in English? Do you try to tap into covers and originals? So like, it depends. How is the vibe like to choose what you're gonna play?
Wow, that's a very good question. Every event, it has a different purpose, different vibe. So I guess when I play my original music and when I write my songs, it will be coming a lot more soul meaning. My own songs has a lot of messages, underlines, and rhythm section and chains. A lot of Afro and Brazilian samba, bossa nova, jazz influence. But I love playing with different rhythms. Even like songs that are already recorded one way, sometimes when I play live, it will be totally different, depending the time of the day, depending who is listening.
How you are, how you picking
how
up
I'm feeling, yeah. The other day, like this, one of the venues I play at the mountain, they're like, you always come here so early to set up, you know. I like being an hour and a half, usually is my mark. And I said to her, well, because, you know, usually I come here, set up. It takes 45 minutes for me to do my setup. But I like seeing what's happening, feeling the room, feeling who is here, and also to connect with the people that are working there. Because it happened before, if I get late for some reason and I have to start playing straight away, and you have your heartbeats like, I have to play, and then you don't think it's not the same appreciation for me to be playing. And for sure, I think people will feel the same when they're listening. The intention.
Get the intention when you're...
Yeah. So, for sure, my music changes. The covers I choose, it will change with how I'm feeling. But lately it's been a lot of drum and bass, jazz, hip-hop, mix, funk music. But it might change. It might be shamanic.
Do we get to hear anything?
You know?
Ooh, that That'll be exciting.
I think we're gonna leave it for. We're gonna bring her for a gig, for an ALTBAYS gig.
Totally,
We've been planning some things.
I'll be at the front in the mosh pit.
Good.
I'm very intrigued to hear it now. I'm like, oh my god.
But to be honest, like when I do like normal gigs, say like for pubs and markets and things like that, I do half. My original music, which goes from Latin music to hip hop, rock, reggae. And there was one event when I found out that my mom had COVID. I was going to a gig. My brother called me. Mom is in the hospital. You need to send her a Reiki, because you can do it by distance. And I was like, oh, is she going through surgery or something? Because you can't really do when someone's going through surgery. No, okay. I was like, cool. So I stopped my car and I started doing the healing on her just before the gig.
How can I ask, how do you do that? I'm not...
With the Reiki?
Yeah.
So you tune in to the Reiki frequency. And then you have symbols that you learn when you do the course to do in a distant way.
So the person has to be aware that they are receiving Reiki, so they support with their mindset. Is that how it works?
It does help a lot if they know. My mom, in that moment, they were putting her into induced coma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But, so in our spiritual world, we have our higher selves, right?
Yeah.
So before you do any healing to anyone, you should ask for their permission. And this is not your physical body you're asking for, it's their higher conscious. Yeah. So you do that. And then if you feel like for some reason their higher selves was saying to you, their souls is like, nah, I don't want it. Then you feel that as like it's like hitting a wall, you know? Then you don't do it. But I doubt if you have your soul, your spirit, and you see your physical body is in need of a healing of something, I doubt that the spirit will say, don't interfere. I don't know.
They probably welcome it.
Yeah. So I did that for my mom. And then, I don't know how long it took me, maybe 40 minutes or 1 hour. And then I went to the gig. But my thoughts were still in Brazil. My side was still there with her. And then that gig was in the market at the Mount. I started playing harp. I think I played the harp for maybe 15 minutes. And all the kids, because there was a lot of kids, they came close. And I saw, it was right at the sunset. So it was a beautiful golden sunset. And when I saw the kids coming with their eyes like, wow, you're playing the harp. I felt that as the finishing off that ritual I was doing with my mom. Them bringing their purity and the joy, and then everything is fine. If it's whatever was going to happen with my mom at the time, also is her choice. Her soul has you have a choice in what's going to happen, your own life design. So you know, as a daughter, you need to understand. And now as a mom, when my daughter's gone now for 7 weeks to Brazil, I also have to learn how to have that freedom for her to express, to grow, to be independent without me being next to her. And, so crazy. So the cycles of life.
Cycles of life.
But in that gig,
cool
I brought a lot of sound healing.
Sounds beautiful, though. I can almost picture it. It's just like...
it was they looked like angels, seriously. It was just a magical moment. And
the harp's not something that you hear very often or see people play, so that must be quite magical. I can imagine anyway. I
play harp by ear, but I use a lot more for sound healing than I wouldn't play classical. And the harp I think would be too hard for me to do it. And but I like playing by ear, and sometimes it flows differently because of that intention. But I use a lot for my sound journeys. 36-string harp, and it has this hole at the back, the acoustic box. So what I do, I turn the harp around. I play in a different way.
Oh, wow.
So just like the sound, the singing bowls, So I put on top of the people can actually feel the vibration to their body, whatever it's moving through.
Oh my
them.
God, you've got to bring her
I
to
know,
do an
right? To
event.
bring the
I'm
harp,
I'm
yeah.
getting
We
excited already.
We put you here on the table and we do a demonstration.
And
I know, it sounds beautiful.
that's and that's an interesting thing, because I remember when I arrived in Whitianga, I hurt my ankle, and a good friend of mine, Xavier Rudd, he was here a couple of weeks ago talking about Reiki actually, and I remember him saying, "Oh, would you like to try some Reiki?" And I couldn't make sense of it. I couldn't understand. I was like, "But you're gonna hold my foot? Like, is that what's happening?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, yeah." But like, there was this thing of, I was open for things, you know, like it was a good moment for me in New Zealand, new experiences, a new journey, and understanding that because I grew up I had a religious background with my family, not very strong, but like enough to consider ourselves religious people. And I let go of that. So I think a lot of skepticism came to the top, you know. I was like, that's bullshit, you know, like whatever. But then by being open to things, I realized that it makes a lot of sense. When you're open, like it doesn't matter. Like you don't have to make a big effort to believe or to not believe. Like if you're just there, allowing yourself to receive something, you know, like, and then your body should be good. You should be good to say, this is good for me. This is not. But if you don't even allow yourself to try,
yeah, for sure.
and that's why I think music is so beautiful, because sometimes you're just experiencing it. It's just happening around you. And just that thing of like closing your eyes and then suddenly it takes you to a place. In a way, it was a bit of a spiritual journey that just happened right there, you know, like it took you off. It took you to another place, and you why? Because you allowed yourself to go there. You didn't make an effort. You were not like, oh, I'm going now. Ooh, off we go. No, you're like, you allowed the music to do something to you. And I think for kids and for a lot of people, it's just easier, right? The kids get the attraction. They just like, oh, okay, there's something calling me here. So when you mentioned the kids coming, it makes sense that because
their minds are not overthinking.
No, and I think kids are open.
Or not judging, you know.
And they live in that moment of what they hear and what...
Until a certain age, and then they start being little rabbits.
Yes.
then they think too much.
And they turn just like us.
Stop thinking, stop talking, stop.
But, you know, you mentioned about being skeptical, and about if I have, you know, when I do the Reiki, you have to ask for permission for that person. I had people that were skeptical about it, asking, but they're still skeptical about it. So then you still ask for permission, but again, it's not your mind that's deciding. You know what I mean? It's a mix of mind, body, soul that has the yes, no. Or do I want to? This healing or this event to happen to me? Yes, no. So sometimes your mind says something. We fight with our minds all the time, right? So, and then, so break through that person that's being a bit skeptical. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, the body wants it, the mind's
just
like, are you
a
out of
beautiful
your control?
thing to see it and then to drop, you know, because you need to drop. You drop everything when you see the results and people like that. You see they surrender and they dropping and they not really caring, judging, and they just, okay, yeah, no, I felt something. And you know, a session of Reiki equals, I think it's 8 or 9 hours of a good sleep.
Wow. Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of people have this tension or, I don't know, so much stuff happening in our busy lives. And one session, half an hour, whatever, how long it needs to be done.
Speaking of busy life, Camila, you, from what I understood, like you're really emerging into your artistic being, you know, living like by your music and your passion. Was there a moment that you realized you maybe were going too much, overplaying, and then the thing of playing actually was more than the passion. It just became kind of like a job, and I have to do this because I've been through that journey of like, oh, it's gonna pay well, let's get that gig. Oh, that one, oh yeah, and then you're actually not there.
No, definitely. Yeah, when I decided to do only music, I started going crazy with the amount of gigs I was playing because I needed to make sure I was having a certain income every week, right? And then I had in the past, especially in the high seasons, weeks that I did 12 gigs a week. And that was just insane. I don't even know how I did it. My voice was always tired. Some of the gigs I was not fully present because my body wanted to rest. Or mind, because when you're playing a gig, you share a lot of that energy of yourself, and you exchange that with people as well. So people come and talk, and they want to know about your journey. It's a good exchange, but when you do that so much, you go like, okay, I need time for myself to just be quiet. And so in that moment, I think that was around 4 years ago. I said, no more. Next season, I'm not going to do this. I want to be, that's not what my music's for. It's not, of course, the money is important, and I do appreciate this. but I see that my music at the moment is for me to connect with our community here in New Zealand, in Brazil as well. And if I can't commit my presence, then it's all going to the trash. And I realize, and I think that comes with maturity or experience, I don't know. I realize over time that money will come and will flow if you're on the right path. If you're doing something just because of money, then things just get stuck again, for sure. But music is a tough one because for you to get somewhere, to be able to live off music, you need to do a lot of work, record, have contacts, and sometimes playing in places that I've never been before, travel a lot. And I realized one of the things with the traveling is also, now that I have a family, a daughter, I think, wow, no, if I do 12 gigs a week, I don't have time for her, I don't have time for my dog, I don't have time for myself. So I need to balance, bring it back to my center health and make things work in a sense, yeah.
Do you try to choose festivals and parties in New Zealand that in a way connects with the holistic side of your life and the journey? Because I see New Zealand being well served with some of those festivals. Can you tell us a little bit about them, and if that's one thing that you praise?
Yeah, for sure. I love playing in holistic festivals. And then I say Earthbeats, Revive in Gisborne, New Zealand Spirits, Resolution. There is small festivals as well that happens in Raglan at the Soulscape. Many. There is one coming this next Saturday in Te Puna on the 15th, is a day festival, where we have people that do nutrition, yoga, meditation, sound healing. So I love being part of those events because I feel like it's me, it's what I do. It's not just music. I love going to concerts, that's just music. Don't take me wrong, but I feel like when I go to those places, I can really connect and talk to people. Yeah. Exactly, yeah. And I feel people will go home to their families with a whole experience of community, of growth, of a positive, healthy life. Yeah. But that's me, everyone is different.
Which cool bands have you played with, shared the stage with?
House of Shem was one of them. With Takeover, we actually own a band together. We're going to be touring this summer.
What's the name, I'm sorry?
Ga is the name of the band. Yeah.
And that's the Chorus family? Is that the one that you mentioned?
Yeah, Tate is the father.
Tate Cora.
Of the boys, yeah. And we share stage with the boys a few times in some of the festivals.
So you're going to tour this summer?
Yes.
So where can we find you? Where can I follow you?
Instagram. Instagram
Okay.
is. I use Facebook as well, but Instagram more
Yeah.
for my music.
Okay.
And we
Yeah.
tagged Camila on the show, so I'll make sure that I'll send it to you.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
So I do a lot of my solo gigs, my own
Yeah.
original music, but I do play with bands, with Tate and other bands from Taranaki, Good Vibrations. I just love being able to move around different styles, genres, and I learn a lot from these people. We're mentioning Honey as well, Honey Aotearoa. We've done a few
God
things.
bless, honey.
Yeah, love him, and we did a few gigs in the past together, and he helped me translating some of the bits. One of my songs in Te Reo, which I feel very honored, because New Zealand's been my home for nearly 14 years.
The little song you sang before we came on live, I thought your pronunciation and everything was beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
You actually sing it way better than me.
Oh no,
You do. It was beautiful.
I think it's time to do it again.
Ooh,
live.
Now, are you guys singing with me?
My
We'll be quiet
pronunciation.
and listen.
No, but
Very- with a
seriously,
lot
that
of
was
heart
really
and
good.
attention.
Thank you.
That was really
That was
good.
Te Aroha.
Yeah.
Only if you want to.
Yeah. No, you mean no? No.
Yeah.
Okay. Te aroha, te whakapono, me te rangi mari e tato e.
Kapai.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, yes. Now, you live in a buzz, woman.
Yes.
With a child and a dog.
Yes. Ollie. He's here trying to say hi.
Can we see Ollie in the camera, Papa? Yes, we can. So Ollie's here.
Shall I bring him up?
Yeah, show Ollie.
Okay.
Hey, Ollie. Ollie's
He's
making
very loyal to the cause.
I have a friend that says that Ollie was a model in the past life because when there's cameras involved, he poses. Look.
Wow, yeah.
He's perfect. Yeah. It's like, well, I'm here.
He's like, yeah, guys. Well, I'm gonna talk about my journey now. Nah, he's cute.
So how was that decision, Camila, to get a bus, to live a more sustainable and more like, I don't even know the word.
Organic life.
Organic life, yeah.
The gypsy.
Gypsy.
Well, because being a musician, I was playing all around the country. Yeah. And before I had my daughter, I was already thinking about getting a bus and starting a food truck.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah. But see, you have these ideas, and I had actually a whole business plan with the food truck, and I'm going to do this and that. But it never actually happened because the music started kicking in, yeah? So I started playing more, writing more songs, recording. And then when I start seeing that my travels with my daughter was like, we had to stay in people's houses or Airbnbs, and it was always like a little bit, even when you go to people's house, if they are friends, I always felt like I was stepping into their space and felt like, 'cause I don't want to take your home away from you, but they were happy to have us, But I was just like, oh no. So I decided to get the bus and turn into a different business, not just a food truck. So it's going to be something that I'm going to build a music studio, recording studio, stage, that I can run my own events, so I can have in the festivals as a second little stage, and that I can tour with my daughter and my dog, and we can feel home. And it's our own space, and when you're tired, you can just go there. Nobody's going to, be in your own space. So it's been a crazy, crazy, crazy experience for all of us. My daughter loves the buzz lifestyle, even though the buzz at the moment, the setup is not the full setup yet, because I'm gonna change a few things around. But it's just real simple life. and a lot of connection with her, with Ollie, a lot of connection with nature, because you're always outdoor doing something. If it's raining, then you're indoor, but you connecting, you're here, you know. We have our computer, but we don't really go much on spending a whole afternoon on doing something there. We really have that person-to-person connection. We will watch a movie, nighttime, things like that, which is nice, cozy. But yeah, the buzz has been amazing, and we're gonna, hopefully, until the end of this year, I'm gonna finish building it properly, and then this interview might be on the bus next time.
Fantastic.
On the tour.
How was the mission to find the buzz? Where does the buzz come from?
So there is a guy, a dealer in Auckland called Motoka, Alan.
Like Motoka?
Yeah. Motoka. And he brings vehicles from overseas. So this bus came from Japan, and it took a long time for him to find what I wanted, because I said to him, look, I want this size, that does this is what I'm going to do. And this guy is very genuine, and I'm very happy that I found him. It's not just someone trying to take money off you, because he did take his time to find it. It took him 7 months to find the bus that I wanted.
So it shows you his integrity, you know, of what, as customers, what he wants them to experience, you know.
Yeah. And I wanted to do that way as well, because when it comes from overseas, it has to go under certain regulations, certifications, because I'm not a mechanic, you know. And if something breaks, I will be like, I will believe in anything someone says to me. Oh, yeah, no, it's good. No, it's not good. Pay this much. So I know that the bus is running good with the mechanics, everything, and now I just need to build and make it happen.
Good luck.
You will. I get a sense you will anyways.
Yeah. But I'm very happy already with what we've got and everything we've been going through with the bus, all the journeys, all the campings,
And you know what, I get a sense, as I say, like I didn't know you at all until I came here tonight, but I get the sense like what a wonderful thing to do with your daughter and the happiness that brings, and I reckon even later in life that connection that you've got is so precious, because not a lot of people experience that, and as you say, you join together, whereas not all, but you know, a lot of kids these days and people in general are so disconnected because they spend the time on social media or whatever. They don't
even
have
at
those
home.
Connections. Yeah, exactly.
Even at home, like I've been house sitting for a month and a half now. It's the first time I've been house sitting since I have the bus, and I feel I miss the routine. My routine with the bus is wake up in front of the beach or going straight to the beach. And just connect and meditate or go surf or anything. Even people going past with whatever they are doing, you out there, you know, you're exposed. And now in the house, I feel like, I have a lot of space, first of all. Wow, this is massive. And but also you go into a cave. It's almost like a cave. Yes, everything is so comfortable that you don't need to go out there, you know. So it's like, can I bring a balance? If I go leave, I do want to build my own house eventually, and that's part of this business plan, is to buy a land, build my own house, and but I still want to have that freedom and that outdoor adventure and connection, and so it's, you know, it's a part of that.
I get the visualization.
Yes,
it's very cool.
Yes. Gotta work on that, right?
Yeah.
Manifest, visualize.
Sounds great.
And
great life for your daughter.
Yes.
You know,
yeah, we're pretty lucky. And lucky to be in New Zealand, because it's a safe country comparing to Brazil, for example, where I'm from, as a woman especially.
Yes.
I don't know if I would feel so safe, you know, to be doing those things. And so we're lucky to have New Zealand as our home now, and being accepted by people like yourself, and having opportunities coming to allowing us to stay.
Did you feel did you feel some weight off your shoulders coming to New Zealand and just stepping a little bit into that of the safety matter of being a woman, of being okay to walk around in the evening? So how is that feeling?
It was amazing. It was just crazy for a moment, because the first times that I would walk by myself on the street at nighttime, for example, is something that I probably wouldn't do in Brazil as a woman, or maybe even as a man. Now in these days, is not. Someone can come and do something. And then New Zealand, I was like, wow, I can actually do this. I can go for beach walks at nighttime. And I know that most of the time, I'm not going to say that doesn't happen in New Zealand, but most of the time it's okay.
You're freedom.
You're free. You and felt like this is the normal thing to do, to be, to, people should feel safe, should be safe. And but we all learning, so violence is still around, doesn't matter where, in New Zealand, Brazil. But yeah, I felt a difference here, for sure. Could breathe.
Could breathe.
Could breathe.
I have a question from our beautiful audience, from Mr. Fabian Robert. Kia ora. So he's a muso. So he's a musician. So he's asking a cool question. He's asking, what is the best piece of music you have ever heard performed live? That's a cool question.
Oh. Okay.
Not easy, by the way.
No.
I'm here I'm like, whoa. Where do you have to go to find it?
Yeah.
So I don't know if we mentioned that much, but you have the classical background, right? Yeah.
When you asked that question, the classical music came into my mind when I was playing in an orchestra in Brazil.
And your father still plays at a orchestra in Brazil?
Yeah, it's called OSPA, the Symphonic Orchestra from Porto Alegre, which is the capital city of the state right at the bottom of Brazil and the south.
It's cold, but summer is beautiful.
I feel like the concerts that I did in classical music really, but I think also because it's in an orchestra, and when you're playing with so many instruments, the vibration that those instruments, because it's all wood, well, there is the wind instruments as well and percussion, but the vibration that's on the stage is unbelievable.
Any specific piece that you heard and got you, that you remember a moment as a child or or watching dad playing, performing?
I would say Bach, any of the Bach, Vivaldi, the Four Seasons. It's it's real beautiful, and it's one of the things that I miss a lot is going to a symphonic orchestra and watch them, because I grew up seeing my dad playing, and then at some point I was there playing too. So this is one of the good memories I have from my childhood that I don't have here anymore, and every time I go back to Brazil and I see him playing, it makes me really emotional. I was like, oh my God. Because it's beautiful music, and just see my dad there, of course, is another extra cherry there on the cake. But I don't know, it's something with the vibration of those. It's around 40 people, usually, a symphonic orchestra, maybe more, playing in unison and waves. And that's why in classical music we don't clap in every song that they start playing. You clap all to the end.
Because why that?
Yeah, because there is an old belief that when you play music, you are building. We can't see with our eyes, but we are building particles that are floating. When we clap, we break through all those particles that those 50 people have been playing there for you and building together. And also your appreciation, I would say, your energy there is exchanging, is also helping there to be around you, I would say then. one of the songs that I wrote here in New Zealand for my daughter. That would be the second one for sure. Wait.
Ollie.
He's jealous.
Yeah.
How about me? Here's my song. Yeah. Yeah, so me and her father, we're not together anymore. And then we had this, you know, like as a family that's separated, there's times that she's with me, times she's with that. And then I felt her emotions going through that different setup. So I wrote the song for her for her to know that I was always with her and I will always care for her and sending her my love, even if it's the morning that she's not with me. And then when I finished writing the song, and I can actually sing the song, you guys can help me.
Oh.
I might cry.
We went from yes to no very quickly, Tanya. Yes, no.
I might cry.
Yeah, no.
But I realized that that song is for everyone that I really feel that I love and I care for. Because when my mom was in hospital in COVID, we did this ritual for her. And I sang that song and it was so powerful. And I think that's why. It's called Baby Birds.
Baby Bird?
Yeah. Baby Birds, yeah.
Tell it, sing a little something for us so we get a little bit of the lyrics, please.
Okay.
A cappella.
Okay, can you help me humming? All you have to do is like oohs and ahs.
We'll help.
Oohs and ahs. I'll try.
Oohs and ahs are easy.
And then I'll do the lyrics. Yeah, we haven't practiced this, but no, it's all right.
No, it's all live, folks.
So it goes. Ooh, and repeats. Ooh. Carry on. Every morning rays, you are in my mind. You're in my soul. You are in my heart. Every morning rays, I'll send to you my bird to give you all my love, so you can fly too, so you can smile too. Fly, fly, baby bird, fly too.
Part of the band, Tanya. High five, Tanya. Part of the band, yes.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
So
we did this song a few times in festivals.
That's
with
very cool.
A whole group of people humming. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So for you guys watching us at home, don't worry. Tanya and Leo won't be at the gigs. No. It's all good.
Funny. Hopefully we didn't destroy it.
Beautiful,
No, it's beautiful.
Camila. Thank you. Tell us a little bit more about like your plans for like what's coming up. The good season is coming. Summer, you're gonna be around. Like you're gonna be driving with a bus, playing at some places. What's coming up for you?
I'm just gonna get Ollie because he's getting a bit anxious.
Get Ollie. A lot of oohs and Ollie. Sorry, my man. Look at that guy. He really pauses, eh? He just
That's his favorite spot, right on the chest. So yeah, my main focus at the moment is number one, the bus, getting the bus ready so I can do what I do in more efficient way, I guess. And also, because I run a lot of events as well, myself. Little events for 300 people.
Wow.
Where I invite different musicians to come and food trucks and things like that. So hopefully this summer I will be able to do some of that with the bus this time. And second is releasing the songs I've been recording. A new album coming. It's about 10 songs. And yeah, so hopefully I'll do that by December.
yes, manifestation.
December. I have to divide myself in a few people. three Camilas. But that's the goal. That's my intention for summer, travel. I do want to go to the South Island this summer with the bus. Connect with Nelson. I haven't been there yet. And I heard a lot of good things about that place.
Beautiful, Nelson.
Yeah, and they have a beautiful community in the same holistic sort of vibes. So love to take the bus down in summer, always being winter time to see the snow. But the South Island is so beautiful and so much to offer as well, and there's not that much snow around. So yeah.
You love the people in the South.
Yes.
They're different too.
They are different, yeah.
I'm from the bottom of the South Island originally.
Whereabouts?
Invercargill.
Invercargill. I've been to Invercargill a few times.
But I have no recollection of it, I'm ashamed to say. But I love the South Island. I mean, the North Island's beautiful too, but the South Island is quite different again.
Yeah, yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
And it's not that far.
No, it's not.
that far. It's a small country.
Mm-hmm.
Keep us posted, Camila, so we can talk about your gigs.
Yes.
Hopefully get involved with some of those events as well. That's what ALTBAYS is all about. We are getting together with cool people. We're bringing people who we believe that we can do cool things together. So yeah, I'm sure it's the start of a cool journey.
No, it would be nice to do this conversation in the bus.
Yeah. We can apply for some
And
funds
then-
and maybe to do Camila on the road.
Camila on the road.
Yeah. There you go. New
Sounds
song.
good, You're manifesting it already.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thanks so much for joining us. I think all you need is to
To
go for a little
go.
walk, to pee.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Tanya, thank you so much for joining us. What a
You're
cool
welcome.
show.
You didn't tell me I had to sing though.
So
no,
part of the show.
If I had, you wouldn't be here.
It was wonderful to meet you. I really enjoyed
Lovely.
it.
Nice
and
meeting you.
lovely to be back.
Thank you very much.
And thank you. It was awesome, and I'm really going to look out for you.
Yes.
And follow you.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're
I'm
going
very
to keep
interested.
connected.
Yeah.
That's all about.
Yeah. I'm interested in lots of things.
Lovely. Lovely. But
Camila,
it was nice to meet you
Yeah,
and to have
thank
you.
you.
And thank you guys
Thank you.
for having me, Leo.
Maybe I
Taylor.
can feed you one day when you're
Oh.
passing
There you
this
go.
way.
Yeah.
I'll drop you some food.
Yes.
Nice. Nice.
Obrigado.
Obrigada, Namihi.
Namihi. It's been a pleasure. And yes, keep us posted about what's happening in your life. On Instagram and Facebook, Camila Lenhart.
Yeah.
Cool.
I do have Spotify. And that was when I used to have a duo with a guy from Argentina, Santiago, very, very good guitarist.
Cool.
That was maybe 5-6 years ago. We did this album together. We did everything. Production was in his home based studio. So it's very raw, but it's very us. It's very different from my solo album now. Very, very different, but it's still really nice to hear. So you can look for Som da Vida, which means the sound of life. And my latest stuff, Instagram, until I release. And if it's not released, you come to the shows, because I want to see you smile.
There you go. That sounds right. And for you at home, thanks so much for joining us. Make sure to check CAMILA Lenhart on the social medias and Spotify. Make sure to check Lot of Love, plant-based cooking, amazing food. Tanya, man, keeps getting better and better, that food. Thank you very much. And for you guys watching us, we're back on Wednesday with Mr. Chance Aotearoa. He's an amazing hip-hop artist, upcoming artist. And then on Friday, we have Ross McCown. He is the CEO of the Heart for Youth. He's doing a lot of work empowering youth and children in Auckland, and also I think he started the same company in the same trust in the US. He's a very interesting man. We're gonna have cool chats. Thanks for staying with us. Make sure to subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you on Wednesday.